Tavi was about 15 months old. We ended up at our third neurology appointment and got the diagnosis of Tay-Sachs.
When those results came back, we were completely leveled. For someone who never spoke a word, who never said mama or dada, she was so loud and so clear about what was important.
She had a presence about her and a calmness and a perspective and a wisdom that you couldn't help but feel that you were in the presence of something sacred and someone sacred.
This is not a journey that begins at diagnosis and ends at death. It's something that is present every day and will be for the rest of our lives. And having the support and the family of NTSAD who have gone through this before us and can be there to help and guide, and even just to say, we know what you're experiencing. We've lived what you're experiencing. That is tremendously powerful and helpful.
She was the greatest. She was the greatest. She was born on the 21st of December at 9:46, 7 pounds, 13 ounces, 21 and a half inches, like came out screaming with a full head of hair. So she was like a great kid. Like her life was like super hard. She had very poor vision. She was scared a lot. She had a lot of tummy issues. But she would go through like a really hard moment, and then a second later, she was like smiling and laughing. She was like she has such a great sense of humor.
I know for me, like when we got that call from our geneticist, like it was like devastating. Like it was just like the roof caving in.
And as we were driving back, it was like this conversation of like, well, if this is like terminal, like what are we gonna do? And, you know, we kind of like focused on like quality over quantity. We were like, we're not going to get what we want, but like, can we at least like make it really good?
One of the services that we got through hospice care was music therapy. I was able to participate in that with her, and it was just a really beautiful moment just to see her light up and interact.
I was always like a good backup singer for the two of them. And I didn't mind playing that role because I just wanted to be part of the party at some point. We spent every single day of the last 10 months of her life, like she only lived 10 months after her diagnosis, with her, holding her, like near her, close to her, just with her the whole time.
We have like a flag on our grave with like a picture of her, and we just changed it today to like a Halloween, a montage of her, like several Halloween costumes.
For me, it's like really taking care of her and like representing her life, like the way she like lived it, which was like super bright and colorful and happy. And
I'm gonna do this because I love my daughter, and I want her place to feel like really special.
Yes.
I'll talk about Jason first. He's our warrior. That's what it says on his gravestone. So he died right before he was 36. Now I'll talk about Josh, who was born in 1992. He is 29 today, and he is full of surprises, more than Jason.
We initially had them in separate rooms, and then we built one big room where they could both be in. The minute you go into the room, you get quiet inside yourself. You get in almost an altered state of consciousness. You felt like you were in touch with something deeper every time you went into the room. We love the fact that Jason was just about the oldest kid that ever lived who had Canavan's disease. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. But, you know, they've been with us for half of our adult lives. Your life dramatically changed. And then you begin to feel very different from all the other families that you know who don't have kids like this. You know, we're the long haulers, not to use a COVID analogy, but so we're in a unique situation. And some people find that inspiring, some people find that horrifying. We've been able, you know, you just adapt.
It's absolutely thrilling to see these families at the conferences with hope and with action and future thinking.
We have accepted our situation, but for people to have some hope is so critical. And, you know, we never had hope per se that they would get better. And that was difficult and also helpful in a way, because then we could just accept them for who they were.
And be thrilled for the community that was moving on.
Right.
Unveil she just turned 3 years old last month. She is a beautiful, happy little girl. She was diagnosed with Canavan disease at 6 months old. The support is there from friends and family, but the understanding isn't. You know, I always got that I don't know what to say. And I kept saying, I'm glad you don't know what to say, because that means that you have never experienced this, and I hope you never know what to say. But by reaching out to NTSAD and being put in touch with other families who know exactly what, you know, I was going through, it's invaluable. About, I think it's like 6 weeks ago, you know, the great news came out that, you know, the FDA has approved the trial and they're going to be moving ahead. Unveil, she's aged out. So, you know, for kind of 2 years, really been holding on to hope that maybe, just maybe, a chance at treatment. And then to be told that, you know, she's too old now is heartbreaking. Every month or so, there's a new family that is introduced to our community on our Facebook page, and it's heartbreaking. But those children now that are being introduced to the group have a chance, you know, and I mean, I would give anything for that to be Veil. The timing maybe just wasn't on our side. I want more than anything for there to be a cure for this.
First we had Hampus, of course he was first, and then pretty close onto Hampus we got Julie and Isabella as well. We were a bit surprised about getting twins, you know, and it was a bit overwhelming. We're just very focused on trying to manage the everyday life. And then eventually you get the diagnosis. And that was, for Hampus, that was like our worlds just fell apart. But we didn't expect Julie and Isabella to have the same disease at the time. That was something we learned 6 months later. You sort of imagine them living forever, you know, and suddenly someone says that won't be. Yeah, just to like cope with that situation, you sort of push those thoughts away a little bit, and you try to find things that can bring a little bit of hope. But I also remember one of the seminars at the NTSAD conference, they talked about what kind of patients are ideal for the trial. And I felt that what he described was something that fitted for our children. So, you know, the trials opened for applications in May, I think, May 2019. And we knew that we were on the list by June that year, and that we were doing these tests. And in January 2020, that's when we knew that they could participate in the trial. So you see like both progressions and some digressions. So we don't really know what to think. but we feel like it has at least done some good for them. They have certainly become more stable.
Hampus, he's in school right now. He cannot longer stand by himself. He uses his walker, and he loves to walk, so he can walk for
miles.
You say? Yeah, and he's a really happy child. Isabella, she's really loving and caring. She loves babies and little dolls. And Julia, she's really sweet girl. She's very shy, and she likes to read books. Just the thought of that we may have changed something for us or for someone. I think we don't know if this will work, or at least we think it done something. But just the hope, and just to get more time with your child.
Also, you like to feel that like our kids can do something, even if they have this disease. They can benefit from the trial, but they can also help others in the future. And that's sort of like that's like important to us in a way, that they have contributed to this.